I have been asked over and over why I left God. I did not leave God. A difference of opinion or seeing things differently is not leaving God. I just see God differently than other people do, or most people, or even some people. No, I do not believe in Jesus Christ as most people do. I believe that if a man named Jesus lived, he embraced all that God is and became the Christ, which is something that's available to all of us. We will or can become the Christ because Christ is a consciousness, an awareness of the allness of God. No, I do not believe in the Bible as being the inerrant word of God, inspired but not dictated by. Inspired means humans wrote it according to their experiences. Their experiences don't reflect mine, and their experiences cannot capture all that God is. No doctrine can capture all that God is, and our collective experiences cannot capture what the infinite is. It's impossible. God is too big. The infinite is just that. It is a presence that is infinite, not finite. What made me leave was not one incident, but a series of life experiences, just life itself. I'm one of those people that journal, and I write letters to myself, and I leave them and come back and read them later. And in 2001, I wrote a letter. I was going through many changes, experiencing stuff, questioning things. And in 2006, at one of my many crossroads, after I had retired from the ministry, or retired from being a pastor, but was still in the ministry, I wrote myself a letter, and I published it in this book. Now there you have it, which is just a collection of random thoughts. It was not a tell-all book. It was just things out of the top of my head. But I wrote this letter, and this is what made me decide that I was no longer in harmony with organized religion, being a pastor, being a minister under someone else's doctrine, or authority, or someone else's understanding. I had to be free. So this is what I wrote. As I looked back over my blogs, I realized that my life cycle had seasons, and they did change, yet not necessarily in the order that the seasons Mother Nature followed. My summers were not always after the spring, and much too often I had winters back to back, most often because I ignored the autumn. I did not follow myself a season to let go and rest. I didn't allow that for myself. I lived hard, and in doing so did more damage to myself than I wanted to account for. Yet there is a season when you must face you, and avoiding it is impossible. Run. I tried, yet I ran into me at each and every turn. I simply shit and sat back in it until the time came when I could not stand the stench no more. Getting up was the easy part. Ridding myself of my shit was not. I had become too comfortable, and it hit me that my comfort zone did not provide comfort or shelter. It was just familiar space. Ouch. As I've said in my blogs, which have become public, as I have said, my blogs became my public journal and the place I learned to share and exchange ideas and thoughts in an honest and non-judgmental space. I wrote what I felt, I still do, and how I felt, asking no one in particular to agree with me or to even like what I wrote, yet putting it out there for any and all comments. Comments, not argument. I have no problem with debates. I have no problem with disagreeing, but I'm not going to be insulted. I'm not going to allow anyone else to be insulted on my page. Somewhere in the process, some of the layers that still protected the inner child were peeled away. And as he emerged, I discovered that it was not the inner child that was vulnerable, yet the adult that had not grown up. My thoughts are mine based on my pain, my confusion, my active participation in all the solutions that brought me to this point, and the process that allowed me to begin healing. Healing that I now know is continuous. In writing, I reflect a great deal on many incidents and situations, yet never did I stop to look back. Looking back meant regret, and it is impossible to move forward in a mental space or wanting and desiring what no longer exists or is healthy. Letting go allowed me to reflect and learn the lesson while in motion. Motion meant movement, and that had to be for higher ground. Now there you have it. It's just a skeleton or slight view of what I have experienced. A trusted friend said to let the project go because the editing and rewrites were getting too cumbersome and often very painful. To this skeleton, you may add anything you like or even know. Just understand that I no longer walk in fear, guilt, or shame. And if there is something you really want to know, just ask, as I have lived it. Not just talked about it. I have lived it. Yours in love, Reverend Elder Claude E. Bowen. That's the letter that I wrote in 2001, and that's the one that I woke up one morning in 2006, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and me and the ancestors talked and cried, and I decided that I was no longer in harmony with organized religion. So for all of the people that wanted to know why, now there you have it.